Welcome back to another episode of Thinking That Matters. I'm Elizabeth Mahusay, your show host, and I am here today with Elizabeth and Dorothy of the Little Gym of McKinney. That's important.
Yes,
so you told me. I am excited to have you as guest on the show. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and then I want to hear the origin story of this franchise endeavor.
Awesome. So I'm Elizabeth. So happy to be here
Great
today.
name, by the way.
Yeah, I know. It is a good name. So is Dorothy. Nice, all the classic names,
Yes.
right? Yes. So I'm Elizabeth. I'm the co-owner along with Dorothy. So we are business partners and friends too, owners of the Little Gym of McKinney. I'm also a mom of two, and I've been fortunate enough to be home with them since they've been born. And so Dorothy and I started the Little Gym just this past September. And so I'm back into the workforce and really happy to be doing that. The Little Gym of McKinney is a gymnastics-based company for children. We're non-competitive, but we not only grow the gymnastic skills, but we also grow confidence, socialization. We're a very inclusive environment, but we are age-specific. So we tailor our lesson plans to develop where the kids are at their skill level.
Oh, very good. All right. Tell me about you.
Absolutely. So me too, me too. I am also a mother of two. Both of our girls and our little boys are actually the same age. And so that's how we met. And just really excited to have started this journey of the Little Gym of McKinney. I think something that Elizabeth kind of hit on the head is that it's a place where we really are growing children, helping them grow in confidence and not just the skill sets of gymnastics. But I think that just really brings a really beautiful meaning to it. And in addition to that, we both strongly support being pillars in the community. So what is it that we can do to help those, like our neighbors, doing, even if it's food drives within the gym. So just being able to open a space that is not only for the kids, but that can also have a footprint and an impact in the community was really important to both of us.
Okay, so I have two questions. How old are your children?
They are 6 and 8, 8 and 6. Yes.
6 and 8, 8 and 6. And do you boy, girl, boy?
Yes, our boys are both 6 and they're at the same school together, same soccer teams and flag football and all the things. And then our girls as well. They're 8, and they play all the same sports together and friends.
Going into third grade.
And a fun fact is our husbands are both 6'6" and are really great friends as well.
Too.
What?
So lots of
oh my word! I mean, if only you had dark hair or you had blonde hair. Yeah. I mean, who would be able to tell you apart? Yeah. That's cool.
That's the great balance.
Yeah.
That's it. It starts there.
Exactly. That's awesome. I love that, and that you were home full time, and then now you're back in the workforce with the franchise. So tell me I'll let you answer first, Dorothy. What had you all thinking we want to open a franchise?
So it's so interesting. It's not anything that happened just right away. It wasn't anything that I had also sat on forever and said, oh, this is what I'm going to do. It's just something that now looking back and reflecting on all the opportunities that I had in my career, the different doors that were opened, all the wins, all the misses, I ended up realizing that, wow, I have a really unique but diverse set of tools in my toolkit. And that goes to just show that I had strengths that I knew, but I was still missing this balance, which Elizabeth in our conversations has so much of where I don't have experiences, she has experiences. And so really we were just having conversations as friends on the soccer field during practice and continue to say, well, what is it that you've done? What have I done? And explore kind of where we wanted to head to and what the future kind of held and what it looked like for each of us. And ended up identifying that we both kind of wanted the same thing. We both wanted something that was ours. And most importantly, something that was meaningful. It wasn't just a means to an end. It actually was able to impact lives. And we came across the opportunity with the Little Gym, and it checked so many boxes.
All of the boxes.
That we were just like, we think this is it. Like, this feels right. Let's do it. And that, ultimately asked me 2 years ago, would I have sat in the seat and been like, yes, I'm going to be a business owner. No, but it feels right and it feels good now.
Awesome. What about you, Elizabeth?
So my husband and I had always discussed, I was lucky enough to be home with the kids when they were young, but we always knew that I would be going back to work, and that back to work meant something of my own. And so I have experience in my past of building and leading teams in a bit of a different environment, like high-end retail. But I think finding that balance of raising my kids and being able to nurture that and build that foundation and their confidence every day being home with them, to wanting to get back into work, it was just the perfect balance for me. And then in conversations with Dorothy, I always found it to be a little bit scary of doing a business on my own and not having that partner. And so when I met Dorothy and we had these conversations and finding out what her strengths were and what my background and strengths were, it really is the perfect fit. And so that has given me confidence in growing this business and that we've chosen the right business. And we're very passionate about, enriching children's lives.
Okay, so the listeners, especially ones who follow my show, I've interviewed a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners, and husband and wife teams. In this case, we'll call you the friend team. In this franchise journey, franchising, owning a business, period, is challenging. So I want to start there. What has been, and you can each answer, you may have different answers. What's been the most challenging aspect of opening the Little Gym of McKinney?
Great question. That, honestly, I think for me is getting the word out there. Like having this unbelievably just strong feeling about what it is that we do and wanting to scream it, through the rooftops, and having our audience just know that we're there and what we're there to do has been a challenge. I think that on the opposite side of that question, the reliance of having, like Elizabeth said, the partnership of just being having each other to bounce ideas off of, to brainstorm, is the most beneficial part of it.
What about you, Elizabeth?
I think mine is more of a logistics part has been the biggest challenge for me. So not only, with the franchise of the Little Gym, you're learning all about the Little Gym and its history and its systems, but you have to be able to bring that to life, in your gym. And so we are very lesson plan focused. And so, the curriculum that we build into it, that then we layer on the socialization and building that confidence, it's a lot. So it's not just, someone looking for a part-time summer job when you're building the team. It's someone that needs to be able to comprehend, the lesson plans. And then we teach that through movement and gymnastic skills. So there's a lot more that goes into it than just, you think it's just a fun little gym. Yes. So,
yeah, that's really, and I think that those are the pieces of it that people on the outside really a lot of times don't have any idea what goes into a successful, in this case, franchise and the way it fleshes out. But I haven't thought about lesson plans in a really long time because, I taught chemistry for 10 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so, I've done me some lesson planning back in the day. It's been a hot second, but they're very helpful because it does map out what you're wanting to accomplish.
Yes.
Where that's concerned. I like how you, Dorothy, brought up that, yes, the challenge is getting the word out. Then the opposite of that, which is one of the greatest benefits, is the partnership that you have with each other. So put your thinking cap on. One word that describes your business partner that you most value.
Reliable.
Decisive.
Ooh, reliable. Tell me more.
I just know that Dorothy's always there. So, she's always got my back if it comes to something as simple as coverage at the gym, or, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I know that I can pick up the phone and I can talk through it with her. And we just have that open line of communication. Sometimes, we don't always want to hear what the other has to say, but I believe we've got a really strong relationship. And so I just know that I can rely on Dorothy to be there at the simplest things or the most difficult conversations.
Yeah.
And you said decisive? Is that what I heard? All right, tell me more.
You know, I talked a little bit about our balance and how she has a lot of the strengths that I don't have. And that's one of them that I struggle with daily, is just being able to stick to it, to view something and say, yes, yeah, this is the right thing, let's go forward, and not second guess yourself. And I think for Elizabeth has the strength and the confidence within herself, which obviously strengthens the partnership, is that I feel so relaxed because I know that she's just a confident person that knows what she's doing. She follows not only with knowledge, but also with heart. And so it makes me trust her undeniably.
That's awesome. I love that. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. You're like, you don't know how much you need to hear that until you hear it. Yeah, I love that. But I think that's really, really important where partnership is concerned. So what does success look like for you all in this business venture?
You know, I think it can look many different ways, which I think is the kind of the neat part about this is like we're building as we go. But if you think about it, it could look vastly different on one hand than on the other. It could be our kids leading and owning the operation, you know, decades down the line, or ourselves. We said the Little Gym of McKinney, we also have the rights to 2 other properties, and we're looking forward to opening those as well. So in the short term, that success looks a little bit different than it maybe does in the long term, but we just can't wait to share it with more communities.
Yes. And I think, you know, for me, of course, success looks like vacationing, you know, at an all-inclusive, or being able to take those family trips. But really success, because I'm in the gym, you know, every day, and success is seeing those skills really being built and like, yes, okay, we taught something today, or, you know, we helped one child feel more confident or willing to take a risk. You know, so I think it's like Dorothy said, you know, really success can be so many different things, but when we see it every day in the gym through the children, that's what really hits home.
Yeah, that's
and
really.
And then the team too. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. The team, like we're so fortunate to have a strong team now. But I think again, like looking years ahead, of course we want them to stick with us forever.
Yes.
No, hands down. We don't want them to go anywhere.
Right, of course.
But it will be so fun to also see them kind of carry what we've been able to mentor or teach in the gym and carry throughout their lives as well. So that's going to be an exciting part of it too.
And exactly where is the Little Gym of McKinney located?
El Dorado and 75.
Okay. Yeah. And so in which area there? Because I mean, you know, so on the east side, west side, by Trader Joe's?
Northeast.
Yeah.
Northeast.
So, right
okay.
by Genghis Grill.
Okay.
Yes, I know that's
Got it. Yeah.
By
We don't.
Planet Fitness, right? That's
Yeah.
behind us.
Yeah.
Where, say again?
Planet Fitness.
Oh, Planet Fitness. Okay, got it. So it's great in terms of location, you know, and people getting right off there and being able to be able to come in there. I love just your thought process around that success can mean a lot of different things, right? And so I'm curious, let's talk about the children that you serve. You said it's age specific. What is the age?
So right now we're 4 months to 12 years, but we are rolling out a new program in September that will start as early as newborns. So, 0 months. That program looks a little bit different, but so we're age specific. So right now we have a program that starts as early as 4 months, goes to 10 months, and then goes from 10 months to 18 months. So up until 3 years old is all our parent-child classes.
Okay, so I was going to say, how exactly does this work? I'm curious.
A lot of help from moms and dads and caregivers. And
Okay. So, which is really great because when you're speaking about, especially the BUGS program, which is the 4 months to 10 months, it's not really, I mean, it's great for the children because it does have benefits of local motor skills and coordination and eye contact. But what's been incredible to see in those parent-child classes is just the community that we've built within the gym is for the moms, like looking to make connections, or for the caregivers, you know. So that's been really important. So we have our parent-child classes that go up to 3 years, and then at 3 years old to 6 years is our pre-K program. So that's where they're in the gym with the instructors. Our 3-year-olds are called our funny bugs, and they are our most spirited. Class. And then we have a grade school program. So it's from 6 years old to 12. And then we kind of break that up through skill set.
Okay, got it. Depending on. And what are the sizes of the classes?
So our parent-child classes, a max capacity would be 18.
Okay.
And then our instructor to child ratio is different for pre-K.
Sure.
So it's 6-to-1 for 3-year-olds, and then 7-to-1. And then that's the same for grade school, but the capacity of all the classes would be 18 students. And then we just have more instructors in the gym.
Very good. So what, for the person listening, especially for our local community, you had mentioned, Dorothy, that one of the biggest challenges is just wanting to be able to get the word out, right? For people to know that you exist, and to obviously then ideally to be able to check it out.
Right.
So what would be, if the person listening, what are they thinking that you could call out and they would go, oh, so this is why I need to go to the Little Gym of McKinney? What are they thinking? What are they experiencing that would have that parent just determine they're going to look you up, they're going to go, they're going to sign up for a class? Tell me about that.
I mean, I think one of the number one things any parent wants for a child is confidence. And we've said it earlier, but confidence is really, it takes shape in so many different ways. So not only do they learn through physical development of knowing what their body's capable of that gives them the confidence, but they're also in an environment where they thrive and they have the confidence to try. Because it's non-competitive, it's not, we're not drill sergeants in the gym or anything. Everything is fun. So you're learning through fun. And I think as a parent, I want nothing more than my children to be confident, and then to be in a space that I know that's the nurturing environment that we provide. Is absolutely want to go there. And then to your point, to build relationships too with moms who are doing the same thing, that, it's not alone. And slightly off topic, but a memory came up of, we were working an event at the farmer's market. And we ended up seeing two families actually, that met at the Little Gym.
So
and
cool.
After class, that's where they went. And so it's just,
that's awesome.
You want to come be part of the community, and your children gain confidence as a result, come by.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Would you add anything?
Just, confidence through movement, that's really what our everyday is. And just, we are an inclusive environment, so we're non-competitive. So that doesn't mean that your child isn't learning like the foundation of gymnastics, but they're learning so much more than that. And we grow their skills. So it's a fun place.
Okay, so since you're building confidence and you're doing it through movement, that tells me that likely there's a lot of positive affirmation going on in the midst of your curriculum. Can you give some examples of what that might sound like and look like?
Yeah, so we call it SPF at the Little Gym. So specific positive feedback. So we do that from the moment our families walk in the door. So we are always greeting them. We think it's very important to know every child's name that attends our classes. So it's not like, good job, buddy, but it's specific to their name. So we know all of our family's names, and we really do take pride in that, because as we grow, it gets a little bit more challenging. But we really take the time to know that. And then in classes, so we have different, we have our springboard week. So we acknowledge everyone once a month where they're growing their skills and they're aging up. So we have a little medal ceremony. And then and so we have their pictures on the wall. So it's happening from the moment that they walk in to from their very first class to when they springboard ahead to their next. So really seeing their skills grow from, not being able or feeling confident enough to do a front roll to coaching them and celebrating them through those stages, and then making a big deal about it when they conquer the front roll or the cartwheel or can do the high beam.
That's awesome. So they have Springboard Week. Did you say how you do the feedback?
We give it constantly. We give it throughout the class. We share it with the parents in the pre-K class. We make a really big point of doing class announcements, and then connecting. Our coaches will connect one-on-one with the parents to share like specific skills. The Little Gym has just recently rolled out a new app. And through that, we're really excited to use this tool. We can coach and celebrate like wins of their child through the parent, through the app. So we can, say, Chloe has mastered the cartwheel. Here's a picture of her, and then here's a little description, because not all parents are able to attend these classes. They're working and their caregivers bring them. So this is a really great tool for us to be able to use in gym, that we can make those connections with the parents as well.
So are you open throughout the day? Are you primarily an after school? How does that work?
We start classes as early as 8:15, 8:30.
Wow. Okay.
And we are very much aware of the middle of the day where kiddos need to rest and eat. So we definitely do have that window. And then of course we've got business to tend to, but we're open in the mornings and in the afternoons. And the afternoons is primarily going to be the older, not primarily, I should say, but it's going to be after the school age kids are let out. So
yes,
your 4 o'clock
and
time
that's
frame.
where they're.
And we go into the evenings.
Yeah, very good. So when's your last class of the day? What's the time?
I think our last one is 6:30 till 7:30. So that's usually our grade school program. That's the later class.
Okay.
And then on weekends, we do have offerings of birthday parties. So a lot of our members, they love the Little Gym so much that they want to have all of their friends come as well. So we host birthday parties. We do summer camps. All of those programs as well.
Wow, you have a lot going on. Which, I mean, if you have a space, you want to be utilizing the space as much as you possibly can. At least from a business ownership standpoint, so you're being smart with your leased space where that's concerned. So I'm curious, as you've entered into this venture, I want you to think about, because my whole focus is on thinking. And my challenge is always to help people cultivate thinking that matters, which often means we have to be faced with thinking that is not serving us well. So what comes to your mind when you think about any challenges in your thinking since you've opened in September to where you are now? You're soon to be a year since you opened.
Yes.
So share with me at least one, and it could be more than one, but at least one thinking challenge that you can look back and recognize, and I want to know how you overcame it so it didn't take you out.
So I think for me personally, it's when we started this Little Gym adventure, I was feeling overwhelmed. I had been home with the kids, and that was my job, was that daily routine. And so I was very overwhelmed of, having to get my mind wrapped around figuring out and having the answers for all of the things that went into the Little Gym. So from, figuring out how to negotiate a lease to hiring a team to learning gymnastics equipment to all of these things. And so I think how I have overcome it and continue to overcome it and work through it is not having to have all of the answers before we start. And that a lot of the clarity to get to our goal, a lot of the clarity comes through the process, and finding out the answers as we make our way through. So I think that has something that I have overcome, but continue to work on as we start looking at our second location and then our third. So
what about you, Dorothy?
Taking action just gets you unstuck. Just take one step forward. Elizabeth knows this about myself, but it's stepping outside and realizing that perfectionism is not the goal here. And that really, a lot of the time, it would almost kind of stall me to the point where it's no, if it's not perfect, it can't, move forward. It has to have this, and that in order to just just take action, take that first step. And I think in that sense, a lot of the time, if I'm starting to feel that again, of the oh my gosh, this is what I want to do, but I don't exactly know how to done it because I haven't done it before. Roll out a new program or whatever the case is just understanding, just identify step one and take it and then go on to the next and go on to the next. And I think that's been a saving for me, is just being able to move forward that way.
So the thought, meaning it needs to be perfect. And then the overcoming it is the taking action. But what's interesting is your answers are related, because you said not having all the answers before, it's not going to be perfect likely before you start. You said the answers come through the process, and taking action is where, you begin to see it. Perfection isn't the goal ultimately. It's actually taking action is the goal.
Right.
That's where most people they do get stuck, because they're not taking action, or they're waiting for all the stars to align, to feel as if they're able to take action. So I think that's really, really, really just important where that's concerned. And I'm sure that you translate that into with your children, the children that you serve, right? Yeah. Because some of them are going to struggle with, I can't do it perfectly, so why will I do it? Why would I do it? And you're really having to work them through overcoming their own limiting beliefs.
And even parents.
Yes.
When you think about it, like as parents, we're often so hard on ourselves of, oh, I didn't do this, the exact textbook way. But it's just overcoming that it's okay. Just step forward, keep going, and you're not doing it alone. Which is a big thing for especially new parents.
Yeah.
And even just watching the kids, some of them are just so scared to go into the class by themselves. And so seeing them overcome their fear and work through it, it kind of gives me confidence. And, we have a lot to learn from the children.
Oh, yes.
True.
Yeah. Well, so often, because where children are concerned, I mean, Lord willing, they have not experienced those things that cause them to have fear, as much fear as we have as adults. And so they're much more willing to take risks and not worry about all of the other factors that us adults tend to worry about. And I can see where I'm sure there's plenty to learn from the children that you serve. So for the second and third locations, timeline on when you think you may be opening those?
We're looking at locations. We have another
tomorrow.
one lined up tomorrow. So we're actively looking at the second, the third, the following year. So hopefully we'll have all three up and running within 2 years. 2, 3 years. Yeah, 2, 3 years.
Wow. Yeah. And ideally that's the beautiful thing. And speaking to so many different people, I'm always saying that's the beauty of a franchise. They bake in the systems, the processes. You have to take action on them, but it's not like you're trying to recreate something that hasn't already worked someplace else. Right, so exactly. You're able just to repeat that in locations 2 and 3, where that's concerned.
Our own processes too, like our own way that we bring about, managing our location is going to be able to take it. But yes, and with that said, the Little Gym's going to be 50 this July.
Yeah.
As from a franchise standpoint?
50 years that it's been.
Wow.
So it really is proven, in fact. And yes, we're very thankful for all the songs and all the curriculum that comes
that you sing in the shower now.
Absolutely.
Okay, give me an example of one. I have to know. Boy. Come on.
Elizabeth, we invite you into the gym so you can experience it for yourself.
Good answer.
Come on in.
What that means is she's unwilling to sing on camera. I love that.
I would never be unwilling to do something that I ask every one of our teammates to do.
So, I love that. So 50 years, that's awesome from a franchise standpoint, and that you're able to be part of that. So do you have any big events planned in celebration of your first year?
We do. We will be celebrating our first year anniversary. So it's really a fun time. It's going to run similar to our grand opening in the sense that we can't wait to bring all of our members together, but it's also an opportunity for our members to bring their friends and come and experience just what the gym feel is like, what our instructors are like, but it'll be overall just a fun time.
Yeah.
Not too much structure, open gym and food outside. And
Face painting with glitter.
Face painting with glitter.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Always
word.
a win with the kids.
That is so
Huge hit.
So fun. So fun. I love the mission that you're on, and tell them the best way to learn more about the Little Gym McKinney.
Follow us at TLG McKinney.
TLG McKinney.
So
Okay.
it's a great way to actually see who is in the gym, who you're going to see on a daily basis, who your instructors are, who your children's going to be with. And it's just a great way to see how we run it.
Yes. And then once you do that, you can come in for a free intro class. So we offer a complementary class to anyone that wants to come and see the gym in person, meet the coaches, feel what a full class is like. And then you can decide whether you want to sign up.
And by the way, is it a monthly membership? What is that like?
Yeah, we have a few different memberships that you can choose from. We have a monthly one, we have a 12-month commitment, and then we have a premium membership, which gives you like 2 classes per week, whereas our other one gives you 1 class.
Okay, very good.
But not everything you need a membership for. So a lot of our camps, you don't need to be a member to have to come to our camps, or our parent survival nights. Those are key. Those will be back later this year. And
AKA date night.
exactly.
Yes, that's
3
awesome.
hours.
That's tremendous. Yeah, really. Those are so important for married folks to be able to just enjoy and know their children are well cared for.
Yes,
absolutely.
I love that. Well, I ask every single, because you've talked a lot about confidence. You've talked about wanting to build that confidence in the children that you serve. And what I know from the brain research is that courage precedes confidence. So it's the courage to take the step into the Little Gym of McKinney. It's the courage to join a class. It's the courage to try the front roll, to use that as an example. And confidence comes after they've been courageous in that. So beyond the gymnastics skills that you're sharing and teaching, I definitely just appreciative of the confidence that you're desiring to build in the young people that you serve. So I ask every single guest why you believe it's important to cultivate thinking that matters. And you deal with a variety of, you deal with all ages, because you're dealing with parents and you're dealing with their children. So who wants to go first? Why you believe it's important to cultivate thinking that matters? Dorothy, you have been voluntold.
Honestly, first, thinking that matters this is where it happens first, right? It's ultimately where before anything happens, your thoughts is what happens. It's the very first thing to go. So what thinking that matters means to me is ultimately making the decision to have the right, proper thoughts that are going to lead you to where you want to go. So whether, it doesn't matter what that looks like for anyone, honestly, it's just do not self-sabotage yourself. Stop those thoughts, stop for a second, and think, okay, where is it that I want to be, and what is the next step that I need to do to get there? And not only that, but it's just, it matters. It matters so much. And I tell my daughter that every day. How you treat yourself in your mind matters.
I love it. Elizabeth.
Gosh, how do I follow that, Dorothy? No, but it's so true. So I think, thinking that matters is having that courage. And so how I can relate it personally is, taking those big steps and those decisions that ultimately lead you to your goal and experiences of new things. And so for my kids, we moved here from Vancouver, Canada. And so, it took a lot of courage and a lot of worry as a parent, right? We're taking them into a new community, into a new country, new schools, new friends. And so by just taking it, one step at a time of, okay, but this is where we see our life, and, pulling them to Texas, and it's been the best thing since. So having, being really, what I'm trying to really say, but like focused on, our thoughts and what our ultimate goal is, in those steps and those risks that you take to get us here, has has, I don't know, made our family flourish, and seeing how, confident our kids have become just of simple decisions that we've made has made a really big change in their lives, but also mine too.
Yeah, I'm appreciating both answers, because thinking about the long range goal of what you want and where you want to go is what ends up ordering your steps, in terms of actually working your way to get there. And along the way, you have to be mindful of your thinking so that you are able to continue on the journey, of that long range fulfillment of the vision that you have. I appreciate that the two of you, I can tell you kind of share a brain a little bit. and I love that. And knowing that you're from Canada, when you said process, I was like, that sounds
drop
like...
an A in there too?
Yeah. I probably didn't say it properly, but when you said that word, I was like, okay. I love that. Well, I appreciate that the two of you joined me today. And I want to encourage you, the audience, like and subscribe to the podcast, leave us a review, and then go and check out their website and their socials. And those of you who are local, go and visit so that you are able to see the amazing programs that they offer, which will help you and your children to develop the confidence that they need through movement, I believe is what I heard you say. And always remember, when you cultivate thinking that matters, you cultivate a life, and in this case, a business that matters.